Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair News, the weekly show that talks about toys. I am your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has majority custody over, the man that Optimus Prime popped and now he can't stop, one of the co-hosts of the Figuratively Speaking podcast, Nate. How are you this week, Nate?
I am doing excellent. Yourself, Michael?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
It's weird seeing you 2 weeks in a row. Like, it's already weird with Wednesdays with, Wednesday Night Weekly Purchases live on Twitch. But seeing you 2 weeks in a row on the news is just, it's unheard of since, when Jamar went on his baby sabbatical.
I'm touched. I'm pleased to be here.
I am too.
2 weeks in a row. I'm part-time now. This is halftime.
Halftime. I like it. Oh, man. Well, if you aren't new to the show, the way it works is we bring you the top toy news for the week for about 45 minutes to an hour of your life, and then send you on your merry way. So we're going to get started the same way we do every week, and that is with some Mcfarlane news. This week we got almost nothing, aside from some overseas Mcfarlane Toys PH, I think it's a Facebook group, posting low-res photos of the Platinum Edition chase variants of the DC Multiverse Dr. Fate, the Witcher Geralt, and the Warhammer 40k Necron Flayed one. For the most part, these seem to be just slight color changes, nothing crazy, and the only way to get them is to randomly find one on the shelf or in place of your regular one if you were ordering from an e-retailer.
Oh.
So for months and months, we've seen these Platinum Editions kind of show up.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a lot of clarity on what they were, if they were some sort of exclusive, if they were just a chase, if they were something that wasn't even supposed to exist yet. And now it seems more and more like it's just a chase variant, which it's converting from their weird Bronze Edition figures to this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like the variant chase figure. I'm more a fan of like when Star Wars did the like the day one edition packaging where it was like the white box and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the packaging variants. I don't know. Like that gets into a dangerous area when you're doing chase figures. I don't know.
I'm okay with it when it's something like this. It's something that's a slightly different. It's not like a must-have.
Yeah.
I don't like, or like the way Funko used to do it with like it's glow in the dark or it's metallic. I mean, it sucked because some of those gimmicky stuff were cool, and like if you're someone like me who's like a sucker for glow in the dark, it would be like, damn it, now I need to like get the chase. But something like this is perfect. Like, just for instance, Doctor Strange. I had to pull up. Granted, it's a low-res photo, so it's hard to tell. This picture next to the original and stare at it for a good couple minutes because I couldn't tell the difference. And I think the only difference is it's brighter blue. Like the color, like they went the hue and saturation and turned it up a little bit because that's the only, like, and that could even just be, them using a stronger flash for the picture that we have here than what Mcfarlane used for their photos.
Right.
So, like, that's the only difference I could find.
Okay. I guess that's not as bad as I thought. I just, the idea of, I don't know. I see it a lot. I guess with the AEW, those are.
AEW's worse, and that's 100% the owner of not Jazzwares, but Wicked Cool Toys, who works with Jazz Fairs and makes the figures. His name is Jeremy Padower. He used to do the WWE/WWF Jax figures years ago.
Oh,
and if you notice back then, it was obsessed with like numbered exclusives, different variants, this and that. Everything was about basically value collecting. How can you make something rare and worth money and sought after? And that's why this AEW line is A, hard to find, and B, has numbered chases, which are even harder to find because distribution is shit. So, like the first 3 series, only I want to say it was like 10 states were getting the chases. Like something was wrong with distribution. They were only getting shipped to certain states.
Wow.
To the point where like I even know someone who found 2 of the same chase at the same Walmart.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was the one of like 1,000. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I will say, if nothing else, while Dream Tower is obsessed with value collecting. He does listen to the fans, and there was a huge outrage over the number of chases. So supposedly he's doing away with it, and it's just going to be chases just like Mattel does with the WWE line, or like Funko does, where it's a 1 in whatever chance of getting it.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel it. I hate that kind of stuff where it's like completely different figure than what you've already got,
right?
And it's numbered, so only so many exist. So then if you get it, you feel like a piece of shit for opening it because you're like,
right,
man, there's only 500 in the world, and I'm opening this thing. Like, I personally, if I collected that line, I'd do it. I wouldn't give a shit. Like, I'm buying it for me, not for Timmy, who wants to buy it off of me for $6,000. But yeah, so I definitely feel it. But these seem to be more at home, more okay, because kind of like we saw the Gorilla Grodd Platinum Edition. Difference was instead of gold armor, it's silver armor. So like, well, I personally thought the silver looked a little nicer and popped a little better. But
yeah, I've seen a few people actually use those. Like, they actually found 2 of them and did a like that. It was like Grodd's like soldiers in silver. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's just, unfortunately, that was the chase one, or the more the variant, I guess, is the better term on that one. But still,
yeah, I see. I dig that. And we also don't know how rare these chases are, because most of the reports we'd seen up to now was just people accidentally getting them via Amazon.
Yeah,
I think I've seen 1 or 2 people post that they've found some like at Targets and stuff, but most part it seems like Amazon is the go-to. Is just order like a case of 10 and return them until you get the chase. Nate does not approve of this method.
Yeah, you could.
It's Amazon. Who cares? Jeff Bezos doesn't care.
Sure.
I mean, your mailman will care.
Yes. I like my mailman. He brings me lots of packages. So.
See, I don't like my mailman because anytime I get something international that requires a signature, instead of just walking, because he'll deliver big boxes to my door. If it requires a signature, he will make 0 effort to come to my door and then mark it as need no one available and notice left, and there's never a notice left, so I can't even like sign it, and so he can leave it in there. I always have to go to the post office then. So I'm like, I don't like you then. Like, that's, if you're willing to bring a big ass box up, but you can't bring a tiny ass little box that needs the signature up, like, meh. Anyway, let's move
get back
on
to the toys.
Over at Mafex, they gave us a tease at the next DC figure in the works, and it seems to be the Hank Henshaw Cyborg Superman. No information at all as of right now. Not even confirmation that that's what it is, but I mean, looking at the picture, it has to be that. And I'm sure the second that I post the show, we're gonna get the full reveal, solicitations and all, showing like what he comes with and different poses. But that's just how it is. We record on Thursday, and Mafex always puts shit up on Friday. Never fails.
I think this would be great though, because I love the Cyborg Superman, and I always thought that storyline was cool. As much as it's kind of epitomizes the what was not great about early 90s comics, I still have a soft spot for that. And it was a fun story to have, not just Superman return, but 4 other guys. And the Cyborg thing was something that kept going, and that was what was really cool too, because he became a legitimate villain and stuck around in the DCU for a long time. So I think it's cool. I love they're going back to these classic comic style figures.
Yeah, because I remember, like, granted, I was real little, so I had these, like, once I started reading, my reading comics, I had a bunch of, like, random DC and Marvel comics, that my parents had got me just to look at the pictures when I was little. And I remember, like, the Reign of the Supermen and all that with, like, him and Superboy and Eradicator. And this has to mean that, once they get this, those 2 are on the way, right? There's no way that we don't get them.
Oh yeah, and at least if nothing else, a Steel, because Steel was one that really stuck around too. Really, the only one that didn't was the Eradicator. Did he die in the story? I don't remember now.
I don't.
Superboy stuck around for a really long time, and Steel, I think, is, well, I don't know about post Rebirth, all that good stuff, but I assume he's still around, because they made a movie with Shaquille O'Neal. You don't
Uh, you're not
come
wrong.
on. Mm-mm.
I think Steel like is part of the multiverse. Like he's on it. He's a Superman on another Earth.
Okay.
Superboy at least, because I think in the current continuity there's two Superboys. I think there's Jonathan and Connor,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think Connor is currently wearing the old like '90s like jacket and stuff
Oh,
instead
nice.
of his black T-shirt.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think. Eradicator is definitely not around anymore. I don't think they've done anything with Cyborg Superman since post New 52, to my knowledge.
Yeah, because I mean, I remember it, like the whole Darkest Night and all that, the Green Lantern stuff. He was
Mm-hmm.
really prevalent in that, but that was so long ago.
That was like
Oh my God.
shit 2 decades ago, at least almost.
Yeah, yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. So I think the only ones that really have survived, I think, is just Steel and technically Superboy. Even though it's
Yeah,
Superboy adjacent sound of with the way they change characters, it's hard to tell if it's the same one or if it's just like
right,
a combination of two of them. I mean, hell, they have two Wally Wests right now because they have the original one who's an adult, and then they still have the New 52 one who's like a teenager, and it's all sorts of messy.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, because New 52 they changed Wally West because that was around like leading into the CW verse, and
right,
they had cast both Iris and Wally were going to be black, so they changed it in the comics. That way, it would be a
right.
continuity. It makes sense. Uh, Unfortunately, he wasn't written as well as Ginger Wally was, so it kind of suffered. And even then, New 52, aside from Batman, there wasn't a lot worth reading. So
What got me out of
it
comics?
suffered from that as well. But when they did Rebirth, it brought Wally back, and then like Flash got really good and got really crazy, and they also brought back the Wally West from New 52 too, and he still exists in that world with Iris, but they kind of pulled Wally out of the Speed Force and were like, he's been there the whole time, despite the fact that all this crazy shit's happened to the universe. So it's definitely interesting. If
Hmm.
nothing else, I'd say look up some videos that explain all of it more so than read it, because it's a lot to
Okay.
read just to get
Yeah, I won't
to the
do
good
that.
parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, back to Superman though. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he looks like because
Yeah.
they've done such a great job with just the comic likeness on all the other like DC characters they've done. I can't wait to see how badass this looks.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait till next week for if you watch this show to see it, because it's probably gonna go up tomorrow, just like I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, NECA did have some news this week, and it came in the form of new solicitations for the TMNT Toon Frogs 2-pack of, oh shit, I lost my place. Where's the names? Napoleon and Atila. They are expected to hit targets this August, which we'll see, because Foot Soldier was supposed to hit in June, along with like Mondo and all that, and it's July, and they're just now hitting. So
Hmm.
I expect these to probably be more like September or October, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
apparently I got a Foot Soldier today. Tune in next Wednesday for
Oh,
Wednesday night purchases to see if I got one, because I believe that I did. So Craig sent me a picture of one. Craig would love to hear his name on the show, the BFC. So
is that
that
big
one's
fucking
another
Craig?
one. You could go with big fucking or big friendly. Yeah,
Oh,
because he
okay,
always helps everyone out. So
that makes more sense.
he's just the BFC.
The BFC, I dig it. Well, it's good to know that I don't have to worry about finding it.
Yeah.
Because I've checked and mine hasn't had it. I quit asking the employees because
Yeah.
the two employees that would help me have both left the electronics section and now pretend like it doesn't exist. And the guy who's there is very shady. I think I explained it with the whole Obi-Wan situation a month or two ago. So if you want to know more about that, go check that episode out. I'm not gonna lie, the frogs, I still don't need them, but this 2-pack and the other one always get me with the accessories. Like,
Yeah, no, they come with some cool stuff. Like I opened up the one set that I have, and they're cool, but I mean they are legitimately the same figure,
oh
just
yeah,
with extra accessories. So, and you know that going into it because they all look the same in the show. So I mean, it's screen accurate. It's just you're like, these are easily ones that I can see people, skipping
Oh yeah.
with no problem. And I see these more often. These and then like the rock soldiers, I'll see those stick around a bit longer. So,
Oh yeah, my Target still has 6 of the last 2-pack.
Yeah.
But yeah, the accessories just look like, I mean, the ball and chain mace and the money bags and the book, like there's so much. I'm like, ooh, I like that. Just like in the last one, I really wanted the disguise like mustache glasses, but I'm like, no.
Yeah, that one's cool.
You're not gonna get me for $50 for accessories. Not this time, NECA. Not this time. I've learned my lesson. But yeah, like you said, it's literally the same figure 4 times, maybe slightly different head sculpts, because I think there's one that's a smiling and one that's got like the teeth, and I think it's the same for like the other 2-packs as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
But
so you can make them look different, but I think they all come with the same heads. You can just swap,
I think
the different ones.
Yeah, I think the alternate heads are just like smiling heads, like with big like green teeth. So I mean, you could find a way to make at least 3 out of the 4 of them look different. It seems. They look like good figures. I'm not gonna lie, and everyone I know who has them enjoys them. I don't have any attachment to all the deep dive figures.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, that's just less stress for you.
Yeah. Well, it's less stress because at least when I strike out at the store, it's no longer like, God, how am I going to find these? To like, man, this sucks. I can't find them for my friends, but at least I know, like, you have someone who finds you almost every NECA figure.
Right.
So, like,
yeah,
I don't really, like, worry about it too much if I can't find it for you. Jamar, luckily, he spent some money on some anime girl Figmas, and now can't afford to get the like foot soldier. So
he needs to be on. Make sure he's on Wednesday purchases for next week, because I need to see what these are that he's got.
He said he'll be back, and it shipped today, so he should be ready by Wednesday. We'll see though.
All right, I'll have a tease at the end for next week's live stream as well.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Just remind me, because otherwise I might forget.
You're asking the wrong person to remember. Meanwhile, while MOTU fans are slowly finding the new Revelations figures at stores, we are getting more announcements in the form of a deluxe Faker. He is currently listed for $29.99 on Walmart.com, but not yet available for order. There's no date listed. But then Mattel also announced the new Masters of the Universe Revelations minis of Fisto with Stridor and Beastman with the War Sled. Both are available on Entertainment Earth for $10.99. Shipping in August. Link will be in the description below. So, I already know that you're probably going to get Faker. I want to know.
Oh, yeah.
Where you stand with these weird minis.
I don't get them. Yeah. I've like cutified or cutesy versions of things I try to only get unless it's like a property. Like I do love Masters of the Universe. I do. But it has to be something that's like a niche thing. Like if they brought out some sort of like Bill and Ted something, I'd probably get it. Something that Masters, like I don't do pops of Masters because I have good figures of them. So the cutesy stuff doesn't really appeal to me. But, hey, for those who love it, awesome. I'm glad they're coming out in actual packages, though, and aren't the blind box things, because that just drives me nuts. But, hey, if you love them, awesome. That's cool. I don't do the building block figures either. But the Faker, I'm definitely down for. It's exciting to see because I've seen some people online complain because they're like, well, he's not blue, and his Faker is traditionally blue.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, wait, I thought this motherfucker was blue when I was
pulling the pictures. And he is. But Revelation is supposed to be a somewhat of a sequel to the original cartoon. And the original cartoon, Faker only appeared in one episode, and he appeared, I think it was almost the first one, and he looked just like He-Man, except he had glowing eyes. So this is a nice homage to that version of it, because it actually did look like He-Man. So that's kind of cool. Blue, I never understood who that was supposed to fake when a blue He-Man with orange Skeletor armor would show up, which that is a nice throw-in that they included the orange Skeletor armor in the package. So I thought that was neat. So I'll be curious to see, if he appears in the show. You don't have it on here because there's no pictures yet, but I thought it was interesting that tying into this, Big Bad Toy Store did put up Wave 2 for pre-order for Revelation, which had Man-at-Arms, Beastman, Atila, and I don't remember the fourth one. There was 4.
I mean, I'm just impressed that you just rolling in with that kind of news all on your own, regardless.
Yeah. So Atila, Man-at-Arms, Beastman, Spikor, I think.
Okay.
Which I thought was an interesting selection.
Not Hodark or Fisto?
No. But I'll tell you what, you reading Masters of the Universe names is one of my favorite things. In fact, I have that new massive tome that I showed off the toys of Masters of the Universe. I want an audible version read by you, where you just read the names to me, and I think that would be amazing.
Is it because I'll struggle with them, or is it because I'll be giggling the entire time?
You'll giggle and you'll struggle. You'll just you'll come up with things like Hodark and
Hodark.
Yeah. So just hearing you say Stridor was great. You said it correctly, but you were not confident.
Oh, I was not confident at all. I was like, my luck, this is going to be so wrong, because that's how the 80s were.
The hesitation there is perfect.
I'm glad somebody enjoys it. I will say I like the fact that he comes with the all robot head, like the full on chrome dome. Yep. Like it just looks way cool. Like, honestly, if I was a He-Man fan, I'd be like, okay, He-Man heads, go away, go in a bin somewhere.
Yep.
Full on Destro head, let's do it. Like that just, especially like if you look at the back of the box, like you've just got this big old sexy robot man with his sleek bald head, and it's like, damn, he's about to show up and steal He-Man's bitch. This is the kind of show I want to see.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm so down for this line. I mean, I think the cartoon looks amazing, but even if it sucks, I mean, this toy line so far has been great.
Yeah, I mean, it seems real popular. I will say, I did see the Battle Cat in person after we talked about it last week.
Huge.
Holy shit. Like, I thought it was going to be huge because it was posable and, it had to scale with the figures. But, yeah, it's massive. And I also saw Skelegod. And both are already gone. Like, they...
Yeah. I just opened Skelegod this weekend, and I thought the figure looked cool. Some people are down on the look, but I liked it. And I got him open, and I'm just like, damn, this thing is awesome. So I'm very curious to see the rest of the figures. I have them on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. I'm hoping I might run into Wave 1 at Walmart on these shippers that are starting to show up. But if not, they're supposed to be in within the next month or so. So I'll be okay.
Yeah, if it's... Usually the shipper stuff seems to show up like pretty widespread. Like there's very few more that don't get it. Whereas like if it's devoted to a certain section, then it's a 50-50 shot.
Right. And it looks like the shippers are pretty well packed. I mean, it's a lot
massive.
of figures. Yeah.
Like it looked like it was like 4 or 5 rows across, and I guarantee those are probably each 4 to 5 deep. Plus it's probably double sided, I imagine.
Yep.
So like that's a shit ton of figures especially because it's 4 figures if you aren't counting the massive ones.
Yeah, because the Battle Cat and Skelegod are only at Target for the next month, and then these are going to be at Walmart for the next month, and then they'll be everywhere.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll have to tune into Wednesday Night Weekly Purchases live on twitch.tv/Modern Toy Fair to see if Nate finds all of his He-Man goodness.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. It's that time of the year. It's con season. And you know what that means? Exclusives.
That's right.
We are closing out the news with some San Diego Comic-Con at home exclusives. First up, we are getting new color variants of the Golden Axe Skeleton 2-pack in what seems to be like a charcoal black color, as well as a purple and green Golden Axe Deathbringer, and a Christmas colored Dimitri from Darkstalkers. Orders will go live July 22nd for all three on bluebrands.com. Also, I apparently didn't write this down, but these are Storm Collectibles, if you aren't familiar with the normal versions of these figures. But that is not all at all. Well, we've got a lot, so strap in. Meanwhile, in an attempt to get people to not groan in pain at the mere muttering of the words Target exclusive, Target is putting up new and reissued exclusives every day, leading up to, I think, the 24th, if I remember correctly. And this even included the G.I. Joe Classified line with Baroness and Cobra Viper Trooper going up a second day and still being available as far as like when we started recording the show tonight here on Thursday.
Nice.
I will put the link in the description below for Target's like weird page to get to all this stuff, because I'll tell you right now, if you just go to target.com, it's not an easy find. Had someone not posted a link, I probably would have given up and just been like, fuck it, they're not gonna have anything I want anyway. But yeah, so if you're bummed about Target exclusives and you're trying to get some reissued figures or even excited about new ones, like they had some Funko Pops and stuff, then make sure to check. It goes up every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which basically means West Coasters can get fucked, because that's 6 a.m. over in this neck of the woods, which there ain't no exclusives worth getting up at 6 a.m. I say that, but I'm sure there will be at some point.
I would do it.
But that's still not all. Over at Premium Bandai on July 22nd from 9 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's almost 2 full hours. There will be pre-orders for 4 event exclusives going up for the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball line with event colors Beerus, Whis, Super Saiyan God Goku, and Nappa. Each will be $50 shipping in August. And then last but certainly not least, Super 7 announced all of their con exclusives. For the reaction figure line, we are getting the Power Rangers Battle Damaged Green Ranger, Battle Damaged Red Ranger, Ghost. We're getting Papa Emeritus Nihil? I don't know. Words are hard.
Papa Nil.
Papa Nil. We'll go Nil. I like that. Garbage Pail Kids, Atom Bomb in red, Army of Darkness Glow in the Dark, Pit Witch Glow in the Dark, Deadite Scout, and then Captain Supermarket Ash, Thundercats Groon, Czarface Czar Noir, the TMNT carrying case with metallic Michelangelo, and Nate's personal favorite, the Shogun Godzilla matching the original figure. These and a few shirts will all go up on July 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Super 7's website. They do also have a large vinyl of Mickey, but that's a statue in my opinion. And then that goes up on the 21st instead of the 22nd. So if you're into that thing, hit them up for that. But that it didn't seem like an action figure for me. They also had a Megazord from their like Cyber or something line, but I was like, we'll stick with the reaction figures. They didn't do any Ultimates, sadly, but we at least got some action figures.
I don't know that they won't announce one. I mean, it's possible that they won't, but I mean, they kind of threw Baxter at us at the last minute last
True.
year because I remember we didn't even have Wave One in hand. I think I got Baxter before I
Oh
got
yeah,
Wave One.
the Comic Con
So
exclusive Baxter showed up before Wave One did for sure. Because I think that shipped in August, and then the Wave One I think shipped in September or October.
yeah, so I am curious about the Dragon Ball ones. Do you think they'll be up for the solid 3 hours?
Um, oh yeah, it's
Because they
3 hours, not
say,
2 hours.
well, you said 3 hours.
Did I? I
I
thought I
think you
said
said
two
3 hours.
hours.
Either way, I noticed that too. Um, these are supposed to ship in August unless they do like they did last year and they'll go into a second run of them. I'm just very curious how this is going to work because I'm going to try.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'll get them. Like if it sells out, it sells out. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I did think that open and ending time was interesting, and I wonder if they will stick with that. Because last year was such a
Oh
mess
yeah, last year was a shit show.
and they did it multiple consecutive nights try to
Mm.
fix it, and then eventually they went into a situation where they were going to make more. So I wonder if they're just kind of bypassing all of that and trying to spread out the traffic into that then 3 hours, and then if they run over what they have they'll do like a second. Maybe, I don't know. That would probably alleviate a lot of what they ran into last year
Mm.
and be able to process everybody within one night.
My best guess is one of two things. Either A, it's your idea where within that like 3 hour span, you get, they run through the stock and then it turns into pre-order for like January or February, whenever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
since this past last year's ran into issues where that entire ship sunk, so all of the figures were lost. They had
Right.
to reproduce them again to replace them all. The So I think they could do that, or the smarter option, especially since those ran for hours among hours for those 2 days, so it was made to order essentially to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think maybe they're going based off those numbers from last year. They're looking at that and be like, okay, each of these figures had 10,000 orders on them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll order 10,000 of each. If we run out, then we'll open pre-orders. Or if we have extra, then we have extra and people can continue to buy them later on once they show up in stock. Because the other exclusives they had, like the Monster Arts Godzilla, still available to this day. Like it's not hard to find. So I think
Right.
if they run into a situation where they over order, it's less detrimental just because at least with these characters and these figures, there's a better chance that people will buy them versus a giant translucent blue Godzilla.
Okay, so as you were talking, I wanted to check something. So I checked the website and there's actually some clarification.
Ooh,
So
I like clarification.
it says, so this product is sold on the same product page in the following schedule. So the first round, 7/22, which is Thursday, says 9 p.m. to 11:59 Eastern time. And then second round, which is on Friday, 1 p.m. to 1 p.m. start. And then it says the closing date and time for the second round is yet to be determined. A limited amount of this product will be available each day. Customers can place an order as long as the product is available.
Okay.
2 pieces of this product can be purchased at each order. A minimum of 24 pieces can be purchased per order. Okay. And then orders containing this product are not eligible for order consolidation. A shipping fee will be charged for each order. And that's just about the registering of the thing. So, okay. So, and then it looks like the stands are 2 of each symbol in one box.
Oh.
That's kind of a bummer.
So I didn't even look at those because I was like, there's stands. Then the fact that it's 2 per box, how much are they? Are they 50 like last year?
Well, no. I'm sorry. There's 6 stands in each box,
Oh,
but
but you
there's
get 2 of each.
2 of each.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
weird. I don't like that at all.
The Saiyan, the Whis, and the Goku one. So I mean, I'm definitely probably going to order 2 of those, and if I'm limited to 2, then that's what I'm going to get.
Let me know because
So
if you want more, because I'll be trying to.
yeah,
Because if nothing else, I at least want Nappa. The other
yeah,
3, I'm trying to wean off of super figures. So if I get them, I
yeah.
get them. If not, I don't. but I'll be trying to get Nappa so I can try to get you 2 more if that's the case.
Okay, that would be awesome.
So that way you end up at least end up with 4.
Yeah, so the Nappa does look like it's. I can see now it is blue.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot more blue in this picture than it did in the teaser that they showed off. And the yellow on his armor is a lot brighter than like the weird like yellowish tan that they did on the first one.
Yep. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm definitely. So that's not next week, but the following week.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks from now. Ironically, I'm pretty sure because that's a Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be live on the show trying to pre-order these just like I was last year.
Oh, well, is that what time they go up for sale? They're at 9.
9, yeah. So
we could live stream. We could try to live stream or record our frustration.
I like it. We'll do a Twitch stream before we record the news. I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally last year, I think it started at the same time, but you couldn't get through the site. So I was still sitting here refreshing while me and Jamar were talking about the news. And then literally mid-show, you just see me go, I got him! Lose my shit.
I think I gave up that first night.
Oh,
I think I got it on the second night. Yeah.
I managed to get one of each.
I just couldn't get through. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it took me an hour and a half to get through. But when I did, I got one of each of the figures, and then I got one of the sets of the 7 Dragon Ball stands.
Yeah.
So I'll do it again. I don't care. At least for Nappa.
Yeah.
And get you some stands. The other 3, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
Luckily, if in the Figuarts groups, though, I have a little bit of faith. Granted, like most things, everyone's a negative Nancy until it's time to get them. People are really disappointed that these are what they chose because, you know, most people already have the originals of these figures and they don't care about the like slight color variations. So aside from like new collectors...
These ones go for a lot in the secondary market, though.
But
so I don't know why people are bitching.
Well, I think it's because most of the people are like, "Oh, I already spent the money to get them," or "I already had them originally." So I'm just my thing is I think like that at least gives me a little bit of hope that it might not be as much of a pain because last year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Last year, that Goku was a brand new figure, so that was definitely clogging things up. And then the androids, I mean, that's a much older release, so those were
tough to get.
Were even more difficult and realistically price wise those haven't compared to the originals anyway, so I can't see people like buying Goku, Whis, and Beerus and even Nappa to try to scalp them because they may get lucky if they can get double out of them, let alone like the crazy prices that they're going for. And even the Nappa, the original is only like 150 right now.
Right. Well, actually it's gone up. I'm actually looking at prices right now.
I wonder if it went up because the new one's announced.
I wondered that's a good thought. You'd think it would go down a little bit, but
no, because that's what happened with the androids. Is they were at like 200 when the con exclusives were announced, and then once those released, they jumped up to like 250 to 300 each.
Yeah, Nappa's averaging between 180 and 200 in the box. Okay. So if it's loose, it's about 150. But yeah, I had no idea he was going for that. I just get them as soon as they come out and don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to see what some of the stuff has gone for. So
yeah, man, it's insane. Like I'm in the groups and there's some that I missed out on or some that I used to have but then sold because I had gotten out of it and then I got back in. And I'm just like, I really have to hope that they reissues these because I really don't want to spend that kind of money on the figures. Like they're great figures, but there are very few of them that I'd be like, that's $150 figure, let alone more than that.
I was just looking up Roshi just to see.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe how much he's gone up. Because a lot of people didn't care for that Dragon Ball line as much like I do.
Yeah, and that's the part that kills me is I wanted that, one, because I like Roshi, and two, I need the goddamn Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because I was collecting all 7 of the like normal Earth Dragon Balls. And, of course, the 3-star ball is with him, and he's been expensive since I started collecting again. And I'm like, damn it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel your pain.
But yeah, so I'll definitely be trying. We'll do a live stream. I dig it. We'll do a Twitch stream of us trying to get them and bitching for an hour while the site crashes. It'll be fun.
That sounds good. Yeah.
And Jomar can join and he can just laugh at us the whole time, assuming he can get away. Beyond that, though, I know that you want the Godzilla. Are there in the Ghost, right?
Yeah, I'll get that one. I don't think it's going to be a problem to get. It wasn't hard to get last year. That's the
Mhm.
weird thing. It's just a color variation on the convention exclusive from last year. So, because Papa Nil in the lore of things is now deceased,
Mhm.
it's like a black and white version. So it's
Okay.
the memorial version. So, um, so I'll definitely get it. I'm really anxious to get that Godzilla though. I'm not super into reaction, but when they do really cool things like that, like all the the Papa Nil from last year is really nice. Like it is. I mean, it's large. It's not quite as large as the Back to the Future 2 one, but it is big and it's like real shiny and got like gold
Mhm.
foil on it. So they did a really good job on it. Um, otherwise I don't do a ton of reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't really have. I don't think I have any reaction figures, just because the card art looks so cool.
Hmm.
But I'm just like $20 for what you get. It's just
Right. It's tough.
it's priced out for me. I will say
Yep.
that at least with the ghost stuff, the package is so dramatically different than just like the squared
Yeah.
off like old style card that it's a
Yep.
little
They've done
probably
some
more
really cool ones.
justifiable.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be mad if they decided to do a ghost figure in Ultimates as a Comic Con exclusive.
I mean, well, they're doing the one, so they're
Mm-hmm.
doing the Papa one, and I wonder it would be interesting if they did like a color variation of that as a Comic Con exclusive. So yeah, I
I'd be
would be
down
all
with
over
that,
that.
especially just because
Yeah,
that means we'd get it sooner.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I was looking, because I think it only gets scheduled until December, which
Mm-hmm.
means we're probably not going to get it until like February, March, and
If that at this
ugh,
rate, like everything's getting
yeah,
so pushed back that I'm like, we'll be lucky
yeah,
if we get it by next Christmas, let alone this
right,
one. Um,
yeah. So yeah, I'm starting to get that, that con
itch.
exclusive, yeah, it's just like ugh. And it's crazy because every year the same thing happens. I freak out, I worry, and it's silly because I end up getting them one way or the other if I really want them. Um, so yeah, I really shouldn't worry about it. But I do. I don't know what my problem is.
I mean, I can't blame you. I'm semi the same way. Like I get anxious just because I have had the situations where I've gotten on the site and the site crashed or something that I didn't get something.
Right.
Um, and 9 times out of 10, usually it's something that I'm like, it's cool. I kind of want it, but if I don't get it, it's not a deal breaker. Usually it's Mezco related because that's primarily where I go. But I feel like I feel like with at least some of this stuff, if nothing else, like the DBZ stuff, we'll go back to that.
Hmm.
I feel like if at least if I get those, because despite the fact that they did 3 days worth of like secondary pre-orders, people still actively want the figures from
Yeah.
last year, and they still pay good money for them. So I could
Yep.
trade those to get some of the figures I missed out on that are priced out that I won't get unless
Yep.
they reissue. So it's kind of like okay, I really only want Nappa, but if I can, I'll get all four because I'm sure someone would be willing to trade like a Whis and a Beerus for Majin Vegeta or something like.
Hmm.
So it's just a really tough place because it's more so the hopes to get something I actually want out of it
Right.
versus the actual figure sometimes.
Right.
Um, and I do want to touch on this weird like Target summer geek out collector spot nonsense. Like
Yeah.
I'm just I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make up for the fact that they shit the bed on
Hmm.
80% of their exclusive market. Um, but I feel like it doesn't matter at this point because you can't show up a year, 6 months, hell, even 3 months after the fact and be like, we've got more.
Right.
Well, then why didn't you have more then? It's simple as that. At this point, most of the people who wanted them already paid eBay prices to get them.
Unfortunately, I think some of that is the case, or I'm hoping that there was a lot of people that just didn't give up the hope of finding it, and
Mm-hmm.
are still going to order and still going to get it. But yeah, I do wonder. There's someday I think we're going to get the real story of what happened there and why there was so many of them that were Target exclusives and why there was a limited run. I mean, I definitely have my thoughts. Um, and definitely have ideas on what went down, but I would like some sort of clarification behind it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the documentary to come out in like 10 years of
Yeah,
when Hasbro's like, man, we should really explain that shit, because people seem to actually want to hear it, and we could charge like ticket prices.
yeah,
um, but yeah, because it's not even just Joe stuff, like the turtle stuff. I mean, the wrestling stuff is hit or miss. The I mean, Jurassic Park seems pretty easy just
yeah.
because it's not like a super sought after thing. The He-Man stuff is hit or miss because it will start showing up in some places and then not show up at all at other places, but then like 2 months after the fact show up. Like the fact that I remember, what was it, back in May or June, you had me looking for that Hodark 2-pack, right? Or was it? Yeah. For
Well,
MOTU?
it was yeah. Hordak, but he's not in that pack. It's the Keldor
The
and the
Keldor, that's what it was.
yeah, the Rise of Evil set. Yeah, but
Yes.
yeah, because even now I'm finding those, like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
tripping on them.
mine
Yeah,
has like 10 of them, and I'm like, literally
yeah,
2 months ago when you asked me to keep an eye out, nothing.
yeah. And they were
And
going for like $80-$90 on eBay.
and now it's just flooded. It's like, get your shit together, man. Like,
Yeah,
and the worst part is they're trying to fill 20 days of this with reissues and new exclusives, and I'm just like, you're gonna run out of reissues, because I mean, you've had a lot of exclusives, but I mean, the GI Joe stuff was a good majority of it. You dumped all that in 2 days. So
yeah,
like I think today was the other reissue was the DC Universe Flashpoint Batman Unmasked, the Thomas Wayne. And I'm like,
okay,
I don't think anyone wanted that when it came out, let alone
yeah.
now, because that head sculpt is fucking awful. But what do I know? And the 22nd is going to be a nightmare for me, because
Yeah,
on top of DBZ, I also have to deal with the Skull 2-pack, the skeletons.
yeah.
Because I still,
Those things are so cool.
because I've just like, this is the one Storm Collectibles thing I get, is I have the normal 2-pack, I have one of each of the ones that came with the Mortal Kombat figures for the translucent green one and the bloodied one. I'd like to get one more of each of those so I can, have two of each. But these are super cool, with them being all like charcoal. I'm still mad I can't find the silver ones anywhere. Like, they were exclusive to Wonder Festival, but no one's even like selling them on eBay. So I don't know if they
Wow.
ever actually came out.
Okay.
Like, Pixar didn't happen at this point. When I first saw these, I got super excited. I'm like, yes, the silver skeletons are going up. And then I looked at them like, wait, these look dull. These don't look shiny. And I pulled up a picture. I'm like, oh shit, they are different. Damn it. But then I got excited because I'm like, this is fucking cooler.
Yeah, even more skeletons. Yeah, I love all these little variants that they do. I haven't gotten, I don't think I have any Storm collectibles, but I like them,
Mhm.
and I think that all the Golden Axe stuff that has come out has been really awesome. So I'm glad I don't get them, because I don't need anything else. But they're great to look at, and I actually would love to see them firsthand. I haven't really gotten a chance to mess with them. I know Corey has a few, but I haven't really seen them.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can convince him to bring them when you guys start recording again in August, so you can play with some
True.
skeletons while
That's right.
you record.
That's right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I first got, because I got lucky and got my normal skeleton 2-pack because Bluefin randomly had a restock one day, and I got them. And of course, like, I'm sitting there posing them, and they're like really well articulated for skeletons. And like, you can just do all sorts of different poses. And of course, I made them do weird shit. Like, I had one sitting there texting while everyone was reading a book. I had them like doing wrestling moves to each other. Like, I think I had them in the sharpshooter and shit. And then of course you have to do something like weird and pervy to send to your friends. So I
Right.
had them doing it doggy style, and I think I sent it to both you and Jamar.
Yep. I think I said something about them boning.
Yeah, you did.
And
It was quite good.
yeah.
But yeah, and now I just use them in pictures with other things, like they fight Hellboy, or spoilers for Monday when the Thanos review goes up. But he may kill Peter Parker, and Peter Parker may become a bloody skeleton. Yeah.
Awesome.
I always like to try to tell a story with the pictures I have at the end, and I was like, what can I do to really spice things up? I'm like, I'll kill Peter Parker.
There you go.
Because that's the go-to.
You become your own supervillain.
I have. You live long enough to see yourself
Yeah.
become the supervillain, or you die a scalper.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, so that stay tuned, because I'm sure we're gonna end every show this month with Comic-Con exclusives. I imagine we'll get some more announcements here in the next week or so before we actually get to the Comic-Con episode. So make sure you tune back in for that. Before we close out, Nate, you had a little teaser you wanted to give us for weekly purchases to try to get people to show up.
Yes, you definitely want to be checking out weekly purchases each week, because one, you get to see what we picked up, which we don't talk about on the show anymore, and it's fun. It's, it's very informal, but good times. I do not use this term lightly, but I did pick up one of my grails today. So it'll be a fun story. I'll tell the entire thing, but yeah, I actually picked up one of my grails. I have it literally, it's right there. I can see it. It's not going out of my sight anytime soon. But you'll have to tune in next week to see what it is.
I dig it. Oh man, now I'm excited for next week.
It was very expensive, and it is not like a big item. So
I'm just trying to rack my head around like what it could be, but you collect so many different things. I honestly have no clue of what it could be.
Yeah. And ultimately, when I show it to you, you're going to go, okay.
I swear to God, if it's a Transformer.
It's not. It's definitely not. No, this is something I've been into for quite a while. So
okay, just making sure, because that seems to be a trend with weekly purchases.
No, in fact, I mean, I'm pretty much wrapped up, and that's the interesting thing. So I posed a question to both Corey and Ryan, my other figuratively speaking co-hosts, who we have 92 episodes of just toy gold. So go back and listen since we're plugging now. But oh my God, I totally forgot my point.
I didn't know what it was either, so we're good. We were talking about Transformers.
Oh, yes. So I thought of a great question, and it's a good collecting question. But have you ever stopped collecting a line? Not that it was canceled. You stopped collecting, and you kept most of what you had.
Ooh.
Because it seems like, and it's definitely the case for me, and it was definitely the case for Ryan, when we stopped collecting a line, we would typically sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going to ultimately happen with Transformers is I'm not going to sell it, but I am going to stop because, this War for Cybertron line has given, all of these great versions of all of these classic characters. I don't know what else they can do from here and go from there. There's only so many of the same characters you can release over and over and over again. Obviously, you can always do Optimus Prime and Megatron and Bumblebee 50 million ways, but I don't know if you're going to get this range of all the G1 characters and all these movie characters and now all these Beast Wars characters. What can you do next year that's going to improve on that and keep me interested? So I can kind of see where the Transformers are definitely going to taper off. But I'm not going to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep them, but and then only grab, if they would bring out ones that are, really interesting. But, if they do a whole new reboot or whatever and do a whole new set of all these characters, I'm good. These are fine. Mm-hmm. So I'll be interested to see what they do because, War for Cybertron has been a lot of redos of things that they did in the last Power of the Primes and stuff. So we'll see, but I think I might be good on where I'm at. So that'd be the first time that I actually stop and keep what I have. So that's just an interesting question. So if anybody out there has done that, throw it down in the comments and let us know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I've anything I stopped collecting, I usually sell at least 90% of it. I have a couple of wrestling figures left, but everything else was gone.
You might keep a couple favorites, but. Yeah,
a couple years I just can't do it. I'm too attached for some reason because there's this weird void inside me that just needs things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's why we're here.
And that also leads into another show that's going to spawn from Modern Toy Fair here later this month, hopefully, where we discuss collecting a little further and not just the news or not just reviews or not just what we buy. So make sure to tune in and find out more about that once we flesh it out and get it rolling. But that is it for this week's Modern Toy Fair news. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure to check out Fairly Speaking podcast. Much like Nate mentioned, there's already 92 wonderful episodes, and they're hopefully going to be starting back up here in August, so you can get some new ones. They can hit that lucky number 100 episode here before the end of the year. If you want to hear more of me, you can check me out on the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast, where Jason, Kevin, and myself shoot the shit on what's going on in the wrestling world each week. And you can support us here at Modern Toy Fair by clicking the Preorder links below or the link for our TeePublic store, where we sell shirts, mugs, pillowcases, phone cases, all sorts of stuff with our logos and other things that I've cooked up in the good old Photoshop machine. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what announcements you are excited for and what con exclusives you're going to be trying to get and be panicking while you hit the F5 refresh button 1,000 times. And make sure to hit the little bell to get notifications when our videos go up. We have the Modern Mondays review, where I review a new figure that has recently come out. We have our Wednesday night weekly purchases live on Twitch, where all three of us go over our weekly toy purchases every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then occasionally on Thursdays, I will have a Throwback Thursday review, where I review an older figure that has already been out for a while. And of course, Friday, you come and visit us for Modern Toy Fair news, for your weekly top toy news. However, if for some reason you don't want to see our beautiful faces, we do have an audio-only version of Modern Toy Fair news available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Spotify, and other podcast apps you know and love. So check that out, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.
Dry door?